Hey everybody, it is Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, and welcome back to Right Side Pride Podcast. That is our host Hector, and this is the co-host Angela, and we are going to go. So Hector, have at it.
It's been about a week or so since
Or
we've
so.
been on here. I had an event, the Gay Softball World Series in Houston, Texas, that's put on by iPride, which is International Pride Softball. Um, it's a week-long tournament. There are teams from all over the country, a few from Canada too, I believe. They may not have actually shown up because of the tariffs and everything else, be a bunch of BS. My team, our name is Slam, and for this tournament and last season, I named us Slamaga, Slamaga. Um, so for this tournament, I knew there was going to be some backlash. I knew there was going to be talking. You know how it goes
Yeah,
amongst the.
nonsense.
This is a predominantly LGBTQIA2S plus
Blah, blah, blah.
um, with some straight allies at play as well. So things are going well. Just a little bit about the tournament itself. We ended up in fifth place out of 57 teams.
Did well.
We started out 7-0, and then we lost two games on Friday. We lost two games, and we were out of the tournament. But I was happy with our overall performance. Now, off of the field, I received threats. I received the
What
team.
kinds of threats?
The team received just based on the name. There were a bunch of, and I'll put the photos and everything up as well for folks to see. But I do want to just read off a couple of things that were said, and I was just livid isn't the word. Um,
They
it,
weren't
it
love intolerant messages or anything like that, or
so
inclusive.
if you know anything about softball, um, first off, I wake up on, I think it's Wednesday morning, maybe Thursday, one of them, and a friend of mine from Austin tells me, "Hey, you're famous." And I was like, "Well, hell, what did I do now?" Um, and then he sends me a video where of a thread on Facebook. Um, it's basically saying, "Can someone get a picture of the team or players?" Another person says, "Aim for the head." Another person says, "Middle's open." The person who said middle's open, and basically in softball that means like hit it back at the pitcher as hard as you want, like
Right
try to
back up
hurt
the middle.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
that person is an umpire
What's that
at,
umpire's name?
at the World Series.
What's that
His
umpire's name?
his name is Charlie Waters out of Tampa.
Charlie
Yeah,
Waters out of Tampa.
I've already
Good
reported him to
job.
USA Softball.
Good.
Um, that type of attitude doesn't need to be on the field because of a name. Like it boggles
Or at
my
all.
mind that people were so
At
triggered by
all.
this. Um, the a couple other things that were said. This one's kind of cut off, but it says they were originally listed as Slam, though as stated, they have a big Trump supporter and transphobic guy on the team. So yeah, not sure of the name or the rest of the team. Apparently, I'm homophobic, transphobic, a phobe and ist,
Aren't
you know,
you anti-Hispanic?
I,
That as well.
so someone else comments who knows us and has played with us in the past and says, "Do you really believe we don't have Republicans in this league that support the current administration? I know this team and I know them well. Transphobic player is news to me, so I cannot speak on that, so I will leave that part alone for now." Just because some players' politics may be different than yours and mine doesn't mean anything. It also doesn't mean, as a Republican, they agree with everything this administration stands for, as I've personally had conversations about it. I've picked up with this team, and they are a great group of guys and gals who have varying politics that come together as a team and play ball. They would be the first ones to stand by your side or in front of you in your time of need, no questions asked, which is
In other
very
words,
true.
it is, and I've played um, for and against Slam, and it's true. Everyone pretty stand up. They keep that nonsense that you don't go up the middle. You don't fricking go up the middle. That's like,
So,
especially following the aim for the head comment.
mhm.
Um,
Well, I'll take it a step further on. Thank you for mentioning that because someone, whenever they ask, can someone get a picture of this team or players? Um, they ask that, and then um, I'm time stamping this, and there's a reason for it. So basically, 3 hours had passed when someone said, can someone get a picture of the team or players? An hour later, somebody says, aim for the head. And then around that same time frame, someone says middle's open.
that was the umpire that said that. The
Correct.
umpire from Tampa.
And then 30, essentially, like, say this happened today. Well, 30 minutes ago, someone here local in San Antonio, David
Oh,
Alfaro Jr.,
former board member of the Pride
the
League here.
the board member on Diablos
Yeah, well,
here
he's current.
locally,
Yeah,
yes, posts a picture not only of our team, but it has the photo of two of our players' young daughter in it. As there's a thread calling for violence, this local school teacher,
he's a
mind
piece of
you,
shit.
has the audacity to post a photo of me all day. I don't care. I really couldn't give a rat's ass. Post a photo of me. But the minute you start bringing a child into this, and they have done nothing to you, the parents have done nothing to you, and you're going to post this, just shows what kind of snake in the grass you are.
Oh, he's a
Just
turd from long ago.
as you called it, an absolute piece of shit. And I'm not saying anything here that I wouldn't tell him to his face.
Same, same.
So, moving on a bit.
Did you feel inclusive or included in the inclusiveness?
So, moving on a bit. Uh, this was on Friday. There was some drama during that game. We exchanged lineup cards, and the other team put us down as SA MAGA, not Slam, not Slamaga. It's San Antonio MAGA. Um, so they're already chirping over there because of our name and all that kind of stuff. So they end up beating us 13-9, I believe, and then at 10:35 on Friday night, I'm already back at the Airbnb, and I get a message from Austin Stone. No clue who this person is. Apparently, he went through multiple layers to try to find my profile
On
because
Facebook?
another player got an invite from him, I guess, to be able to see, like, whatever, to find me. So he says, and I quote, "You should probably stay away from gay softball since you hate the Alphabet Supers so much. Fucking idiot. Why are you playing in the Gay World Series when you hate them so much? Don't come around any A games ever. Won't be good for you. Pathetic." Well,
What's
first
this
and
astronaut's
foremost,
name again?
Austin Stone, and
Austin
he's
Stone
from Oregon.
from Oregon.
Shocker.
Go figure.
Um, so first and foremost, I'm playing in the Gay Softball World Series because I play softball and I'm gay, and I was afforded the opportunity to do so. Secondly, I can say what I want.
It's still America.
I wasn't hurting anybody. I wasn't threatening anybody to call someone, alphabet supers. Stop adding so many freaking letters to the alphabet and we wouldn't have that issue. Um, During after all the games, there were some issues like protests and things like that that happened and then didn't happen and all that kind of stuff, which is typical for the softball world.
It's,
Not a big
yeah,
deal.
it's softball,
Um,
unfortunately.
after Afterwards, I approached the commissioner of iPride and I'm talking with Jeff and so we're talking about the situation that happened in the game and he basically says that when you have an offensive name, you should expect backlash. And I said, how did I offend anybody? And he's like, well, I don't mean you. Then he couldn't walk backwards any faster.
Typical.
Yes. And
Yeah.
he, there were a couple of other players. Your Billboard buddy was there with me when all this was going
Hey,
on.
hey, Billboard
And
buddy.
we, we both kind of looked at it and I'm just like, what did I do to offend anyone?
I wish I could have been
Like
there for that.
I have my name, my team name. It is what it is. You choose to be offended by that.
Right.
I'm not walking up to you and saying, "Hey, you need to be offended." There were other names out there that were very vulgar and could be deemed offensive. But you know what? I look at them. If I don't like them, I move on.
If I don't
You
like
know,
something that's offensive, I can say something or not to that person, and if you choose not to, then
So he basically says that I brought everything upon myself for the name that I had, and I get that. Like I knew going in that was going to happen, and I apologized to the team. I apologized to our board here locally or our commissioner here locally for that. I have to say he was surprisingly amazing through the whole situation and very
it was good to
backed
see.
us
Good to hear he
100%.
backed you up.
Because he was at all the games and I didn't do anything. I was like probably the quietest I've ever been, which is surprising. My team loved it. Um, but
They didn't know
it,
who you were.
it's one of those things that it's like you go into this and it's already we literally had like stands packed with people against us. I personally loved it. Like I
And you know
thrived
what?
off of
I
it.
pride should too because it brought attention.
And
They're not going to like the way it
people
comes out.
hated on us and again I didn't mean for it to put my team in that situation and again I apologize to them for it and I think they're okay with it now but um just the way things were handled I think I'm not stopping with we're going to file ethics complaints, we're going to
Good.
file other
Not
things.
with San Antonio Pride softball. They did
No, no,
fine.
no, no, no. There, no. SAPSL is the one telling me, get me the info. We're sending
Good.
it to iPride, and we're going to file
Good.
ethics complaints on them. Um, yeah, my team, like, I mean, we, as usual, did nothing wrong. Um, but no, honestly, like in this situation, all we did was play softball, and we were hated because of a name. Um, One of our players was approached in the bathroom and told, I'm sorry about the way everything's going around, going for you guys, like what y'all have to go through or whatever. So I mean, there was some sympathy, compassion, I guess not sympathy, but compassion for what we were going through. Um, Nobody ever told me any of that because obviously I'm the head of the snake, so they just wanted to chop it
Well, they
off.
probably didn't
But
say it to anybody else out loud either.
right. Um, But the funny part about this is this Austin Stone guy apparently saw me at the field, but chose to wait till I got home to say something.
He didn't have his keyboard with him.
And again, typical keyboard warrior. Um, I did have a couple of players on the team too, and I'm not going to name any names from our team, but one of them in particular that was like, if they're feeling froggy, let them jump. But I didn't want any of that to happen.
Right.
We were there to play softball, and at the end of the day, we did that. We did that very well. Like I said, we got fifth place out of 57 teams, despite all the other BS that went on. Um, yeah, it was an event. I don't feel like, I did ask the commissioner of iPride, is this a safe space for everyone to play, or just those who agree with what y'all agree with? And that's whenever he mentioned you kind of put yourself in that position by having an offensive name. um, yeah,
Well, the
so
answer is no.
it is a safe space to play in if you are part of their echo chamber.
Right.
And it's funny because I did have another person who messaged me on Facebook and said, if you ever need somebody to play with you, like I'd gladly pick up with y'all's team. Like y'all do a really good job, blah blah blah. He said it's really nice to have like to see people out here who have the same values and align with me politically. Um, he also said that he had a friend or has a friend on the team that we lost to that put San Antonio MAGA. He said, I have many friends on that team. He said, the only reason I was rooting for them is because that was, I have friends on that team. But he said, they have a lot of MAGA on that team, but they just don't speak out about
No, because it's not
it.
safe for them.
Right. And that's the thing. I knew again going in, um, take my own safety and whatever risk for myself. But the minute they started posting photos of kids on the
That's
team
ridiculous.
and making threats in Facebook, and then the coward goes back and deletes it, like I'm not going to take a screenshot of it. Like, how stupid are you? you
Hey,
know
not a
I
smart
was
keyboard warrior.
I was this close in that message, this close to just, hey, here's the address, you know
Yeah, yeah.
but again, didn't want to escalate things, mainly because we're there supporting the league, representing the league here in San Antonio. And again, like I told our commissioner here, when we're out of town, when I'm in town and in league, yes, I poked the bear. I get it.
Game on.
Um, when I'm out of town representing the league, I'm respectful. We want to represent the league in a good manner, and I feel like we always do. We play hard, we play well, we play clean, and everything that happened this week was uncalled for and unnecessary. And honestly, it was par for the course for the Alpha Mafia.
Well, and it's the stuff that everybody who has access to the interwebs or is out in public and has a differing opinion than someone, they get this crap, and it and I refuse to say both sides do it. Fuck that. Um, that is nonsense. I'm sure there are people that do it, and I don't want to say this side does it, this side doesn't. But this inclusive, all accepting garbage that the Alphabet Soup Mafia, Alphabet Soup community, Alphabet Supers, whatever you want to call them, puts out is bullshit. They don't believe it. You got to experience. We've all seen it. We've
Hmm.
experienced it, and it got brought to a head there in Houston, and it's unfortunate. But I would like to see something internal happen at IPS about this.
You have every right to a freedom of speech as long as you agree with us.
Mm-hmm. As
That's
long
the
as it's
mentality.
accepted speech
Right.
by us. Oh, it's so freaking childish.
I will be posting the chats in this chat here, kind of along the line, where we're at here talking about it. I'll post what was said. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
these people made it public, so it's going public.
yes, absolutely.
We encourage them.
And I will not I won't post the one who has with the child photo. I have one that without the photo, but just know that I do have a screenshot of that, and that will be sent to the local board here. If that person tries to um, sign up for a league or anything else, it was also reported to his school district.
Good.
So
Oh, thank goodness. I think. I
I'm
think.
I'm done playing their game. I'm done playing their game. This is,
Well,
when you start threatening people, start threatening kids, start it it's unacceptable. And I've never been so livid at just sheer words. Like, again, if it was just me, I wouldn't care. You
yeah,
know,
thick
I
skin.
don't
No
care.
big deal.
It is what it is. I've been called worse by better. But the fact that they drag other people into this and they're kind of guilty by association, and then to bring a child into it is just low and dirty,
Yeah, and
and that's
a
being nice.
young child, a school age child. Yeah, one of the sweetest kids in the world. Her parents are too.
Yeah, that was my week. Um, Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't have that exciting week. She did. Yeah,
But I will definitely get all of this information out there. Um, People deserve to see it. People deserve to see what the left is doing. And these
still
are
doing.
definitely left wing nut jobs. Um, Guaranteed that, and
I guarantee
I
they're
I
not
try I try to
warming.
be impartial as much as possible on this podcast. I know you're a little further right than I am on here, but I try to be as impartial as possible. I am one
Really,
thousand
I thought it was
percent
the other way around.
saying these nut jobs
Fuck
are
them.
definitely left wing liberal Kamala cunt sniffing
And they've been
douchebags. And
encouraged by the liberal Democrat liberals who
the the the
it's
funny the
ridiculous.
funny the funny part about this is I guarantee every single one of them were pro Kamala, pro Kamala, pro Kamala, and then she comes out
No,
and says that Pete Buttigieg was too gay to be my running mate.
yeah, yeah, but that's okay. We
Meanwhile,
still love.
Donald Trump has gay folks in his cabinet.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
make it make
They don't
sense.
make any sense. That is. They keep moving the goal. What are they? They move the goalpost. They keep moving the goalpost. You know, just when they're about to, people can say, "Oh, this is nope." They change it over here. Now they're okay. Well, it's okay that Pete Buttigieg was too gay. We still love Kamala. He's too fucking gay. Well, we like Tim Walz because
Because he came out and was
he's not
like,
gay. And they
no, he
just
just wants tampons in boys' restrooms. What's wrong?
yeah they just keep moving it, and you can't. They're children. They've been allowed to be brought up in a world where they're 100% right 100% of the time, and if you disagree, you're the fascist, the Nazi. Which, if they would freaking pull their head out of their parents' asses and these each other's ass, they'd understand their behavior, their actions, their words are fascist.
And honestly, I wish that we could get to the point where we're not
We're not
doing the
doing.
whole labeling.
Yeah,
If they be those who are yelling they're Nazis, etc. Like it sickens me to hear that word and that it's used so loosely. You know, I equate the word Nazi with another derogatory N word. They're both just disgusting and shouldn't be used just rolling off the tongue like it's nothing.
Right.
That it it should I there's no I'm very very rarely at a loss for words, but these people have just
Yeah. I don't know. Well,
which
number
it
one, I'm
it's
glad
not very good. It's not very good if I'm at a loss for words and you're at a loss for words and we're on a podcast because then we'll just sit here staring at each other.
lots of this,
Just get
which
buddy and just
our dozen viewers do. What
yeah.
are they done? Um,
But
I'm glad nobody got hurt.
yeah,
Um,
that was my main concern.
I would like to see a video of that attempt at a catch in the outfield, where the ball was getting kicked up in the air and stuff. Everybody's got
I
video of
did
that.
make
Please
another
send it.
I did make another sliding catch coming in, kind of
Did
a
you?
basket catch, but yeah, that one the ball came out and I just kind of saw it in the corner of my eye and my leg was over here, so I'm like, let me just try to kick it like that, and it came off my heel and nobody was around to catch it. The idea was there, but
The team
you know,
failed. Whoever was in the outfield with you, they failed.
if it wasn't for my sheer athleticism, you know.
I've got softball story too. That and on my knee. Yeah.
But I just wanted to get this information out there, kind of get it off my chest because
Good.
it was bugging me the past few days. We have even taken to renaming our team, um, New Jerseys, all that kind of stuff, because just to separate ourselves. Mainly because I feel like this past week we worked really well with the others in the league, and the league is on the right track, and we're all kind of on the same page. So I'm turning a page. I'm kind of growing up, I guess. Um, but we're changing the name. We're gonna have a grand unveiling soon at the Veterans Day tournament. Actually, will be our first time that we're using the new name. Um, just to kind of turn the page, get away from like, you know, not that we should have to do that, but we're gonna be the bigger people, or I'm gonna be the bigger person.
Well, and it's the league, the local league here, San Antonio Pride
Hmm.
Softball, has been up until this point, up until this tournament, kind of been at odds.
Hmm.
Um, but the board, especially the two, stepped up and
Hmm.
defended their people, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
Um, you may not agree with them, and they don't, but they defended you. They
It
took
it
care. They did their job.
it's funny. He actually the male commissioner actually said that he said if you had started this, he's like, you're on your own. He's like, but I was here at your games. I know. He's like, we don't ever agree on anything, but you weren't wrong here.
Right.
So he's like, I will go to bat for you any way we can. Um,
He's doing his job,
he
and I'm
he
glad to
and the
see.
female commissioner both were great over the past week, and for me to say that about them is,
I know,
that says a lot, you
I
know.
know.
So
But what's nice is they're working with you, and you're going to work with them too. You know
right,
that's that's how adult relationships work.
right,
You give a little, you give a little. You work things out. You
yep.
don't just say, "Oh, f you," because I don't like your stance or I don't like what you said or your team name.
This being said, I'm gonna wrap up with one thing here, and that is, again, we got fifth place in D division. However, another local team
Yes,
won the whole damn tournament in E division. They kicked ass and took names, and then when it got down to the end, they said, "We're here to kick ass and take names, and we're all out of riding utensils." So
good for
they
them. I'm so proud of them.
yeah, they played really well, and they were so supportive of us. I hate that we didn't get to go over to them as much, but we did. I did catch the first championship game, um, and then a couple of other games that they played. So we were able to catch a few of their games, and they came to a bunch of ours, and it was a good time. I think
Good.
I'm sad that we didn't get over to watch Gil's C team because everything was just spread out all over Houston. But
Yeah, I
luckily
saw
we
that.
were able to watch a few of their games, and their whole team was so supportive of us, and they definitely earned the championship,
Good
and
for them.
happy for them. And
It's so awesome.
it's good for San Antonio to be put on the map. All three teams that went, I think Gil got 15th, we got 5th, and they got first. So
That's awesome.
everybody showed out really well.
Fought hard.
So congratulations to them. Congratulations to the Pride Softball League for getting 3 teams out there, 3 competitive teams, and we have our new season coming up this week, and it should be a lot of fun.
Sunday.
Sunday. Yep.
Sunday.
But yeah, again, don't bully, don't threaten. If you have an issue with somebody, walk up to them, talk to them like a human, instead of waiting until you're far away from them and then being a keyboard warrior. Have an
Yeah.
open dialogue. That's what
Yeah.
we try to get here is an open dialogue. It's something, Charlie Kirk would have, open dialogue, come up, talk about your differences. It's something we want here. If you have a difference of opinion, come on, talk to us.
Yeah.
We're not
Absolutely.
here to attack you or scold you or say your opinion is wrong, even though it probably is, but we won't tell you that. But um,
We might learn something that we don't know.
right.
Chances are we will, because we don't know everything. Well, I do, but we don't know everything.
Well, you've been around long enough to know everything, so
That's true.
you've lived when you live through everything, you kind of know everything.
It
But
helps with the trivia.
in in all seriousness, come on, talk to
Please.
people who have differing opinions. It's okay. Just because you have a difference of opinion doesn't mean it has to turn to violence, doesn't mean it has to turn to I hate you, I'm not going to talk to you, I'm going to block you, XYZ. Just talk to people. Have the open dialogue and be accepting of other people's opinions. It's okay to have a difference of opinion.
Right.
It's not okay to threaten.
Right.
And it's even less okay to follow through on those threats.
Right. Absolutely. You're very eloquent today.
I, I guess when I'm pissed, I get more eloquent. I don't know. Anyway, you want to tell people what they should be henceforth?
Just reiterate this every week, and I hope it hits home. I hope it lands with somebody. But be good humans, please.